You know at this point that I am fascinated, probably a little bit too fascinated, by some of the things going on in our industry with some of the industry leaders like First Take and Undisputed. I talk about this stuff probably too much, but while people complain that I talk about it too much, also in numbers, it shows that every time I talk about any of this stuff, there are a whole lot of people interested in the dynamics of our industry, more so than most of the subjects that I tackle.
It really does pop on YouTube and on social videos, and I think that's how people, because people are at work when these shows air for the most part. The people that aren't at work, you can see how they're marketed directly to, but it does huge traffic. People consume these debate shows almost exclusively via social media clips.
Not just that, though, because I do think some of this is changing. And as you've heard me talk about the aging of our industry leaders, Skip Bayless was the godfather at ESPN of taking the show that was critically the worst, the most embarrassing show, and turning it into something that now represents their flagship. Stephen A. outgrew him, and it now runs ESPN, makes that show in his name and likeness. And when Mike says exclusively by social media,
Yeah, they have monster TV numbers.
Stephen A. Smith has increased their numbers. They used to have numbers like highly questionable, 400 grand. Great number for 2 hours in morning television, but not a great number overall. It's 400 grand.
Right.
But now it's double that as other things shrink. And I want to talk about the war at the top of this industry between Skip Bayless and his protege. Because if you think Woj and Shams have a rivalry, Stephen A. Smith wants to end Skip Bayless's career, took his guy, and I told you when this happened, Shannon Sharpe is more valuable to Skip at this point than Skip is to Shannon. Now, Shannon's an individual entity. Club Shay Shay teams up with Colin Cowherd because he realizes, wait a minute, my brand is strong enough, I don't need the networks. I can make my own business. This is what Stephen A. Smith is doing with his production company and with Power. He gets Shannon Sharpe now, and every time on First Take, and this is so good, what is under Shannon Sharpe every time he's talking is 3-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, greatest tight end ever, just credentials, respect. Why did he leave Skip? Why did Shannon Sharpe leave Skip Bayless in a successful partnership? Because respect was lost on the day that Skip Bayless said to Shannon Sharpe's face, your career pales, as an insult, pales compared to Tom Brady's. As an insult to his partner. And Shannon Sharpe left after 6.5 years of grateful. Yes, thank you, Skip. A great opportunity. I was trying to get on the Le Batard Show, reciting A Few Good Men. I was not working at the top of this industry. Skip buffed me up, and now I'm grateful for the power he's given me. And I've created my own stuff that dabbles in First Take with Stephen A. Smith. But he wants to be a business now. Shannon Sharpe, professional loudmouth. He's relevant after 50. Spent his whole career talking. He was in the Deion age of most mouthy guy in the sport, or in sports in general. Overcame a speaking problem. Overcame people mocking him because of how he talks. Has made a career around it. And now he's doing a show. And he's capitalizing on, I'm getting on Sunday nights. I'm getting on right after football. I'm going to do my own thing with Ochocinco, another loudmouth from a different age, a little later than him. And this back and forth, where Ochocinco is saying he's a Hall of Famer and Shannon Sharpe is saying, no, you're not, is not something you get a lot of.
People that are in the Hall that play receiver, and my stats are way better than theirs.
I think the thing.
So let me see it. Wait. How you gonna move the goalposts? Move the goalposts.
No, but here's the thing. If you I know some of those guys that are in the 70s was catching 30 and 40 balls a season. But in your era, so now I got to compare you. Look at the guys. What are their numbers in the era in which you played? So you look at a guy like T.O. was in your era. T.O. had 150.
He is the best.
Okay, Marvin Harrison.
Okay.
I'm just telling those. That's what you
keep going.
But look, off the top of my head.
You still can't listen. You can't talk when you talk about the best receivers of my era. You can't even tell the story without me being a part of it. You can't.
Ocho.
You just can't.
Ocho.
You can't.
I think you
You're
were
not
very
listening to me.
entertaining. I am listening.
Forget the entertaining part. I did what I was supposed to do on the field too.
Ocho, your numbers are gonna be insufficient as far as getting you into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Guess what?
What?
That's why I made my own jacket. And I don't care.
He does care. And when Shannon Sharpe has dismissed you with, you were entertaining as a receiver. And he was entertaining, and he was great. But when he heard Marvin Harrison, like all of us, he shut up.
Bit of a Bishop to Rook 9 there from Shannon. He's like, I'm going to throw out a name that he definitely can't talk about.
Well, Randy Moss is of that era as well.
But he went to like the top of the chain. And guys like Isaac Bruce. Isaac Bruce is a Hall of Famer, right? Those are more comparable. And if you look at the leading receivers of the early 2000s, he's right there next to Tony Gonzalez. And in between Tony Gonzalez and Reggie Wayne. Those are Hall of Famers.
Oh, but that's not the part I find funny. The part I find funny is that Shannon Sharpe wasn't enough of a Hall of Famer for Skip Bayless, and now Shannon Sharpe is telling Ochocinco that he's not enough of a Hall of Famer for Shannon Sharpe.
That's, to me, the thing. As someone that took so much, I mean, granted, Shannon Sharpe did the thing, and I can see how it's far more insulting for Skip Bayless, who didn't play this sport, to go at him, but he's doing the thing that set him off and derailed the relationship.
You were entertaining is got to be the best backhanded compliment in this scenario ever, because it's such a great descriptor. Oh, you were entertaining. What an entertaining football player. But to say you were entertaining as a detriment to getting you into the Hall of Fame, it's perfect.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Is saying you were entertaining to a receiver like saying a dating partner has a good personality?
He'd be in the Celebration Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah. Is he behind T.O. again?
Would it also be behind T.O.? Yes, he would beat Marvin Harrison there. The funniest thing about that clip was how quiet he got when Shannon Sharpe just said, and Marvin Harrison was better than you. And his answer was yes, or because he's just scared of saying that name for any reason.
Yeah, he was thinking about how should I answer this? What's the best way?
Okay.
And okay is what he landed on.
Gave a little David Sampson.
Yeah, give it the Samson. I've listened to that show. That usually works. Okay.
But it is something that was really checkmated. It was for Ochocinco to be left without a word and just choosing two letters. Okay, that's all I will say around Marvin Harrison.
In Ochocinco's defense, from like 03 to 07, he had more receiving yards. Harrison was like a catch machine, but by one of the metrics that we grade wide receivers on, he was right up there with him and in some respects surpassing him.
He also doubled his touchdown output. Marvin Harrison has 128 touchdowns career, and Chad has 67.
Peyton Manning.
Okay, that's a bit of a difference there. There's a subtle difference right there, because go ahead and name how many times Ochocinco played with a retiring Carson Palmer. How many, was it 3 times? Was it 4 times?
Like 10 years of it.
And then he went to New England and he played with Brady and did nothing. But that was the end of his career. I honestly believe that it's such an unfair comparison for Ochocinco, as great as he is, to do Terrell Owens, because I believe that Terrell Owens right now, if I put him in a suit and dress shoes, he would catch 900 yards worth of passes in the NFL.
Yeah. Funny enough, when you look back
I'll take the under.
No, there's some, like, Jerry Rice caught 1,000 yards at age 41. He had like 92 receptions for like 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns at 41 years old.
Okay, I don't want this to become debate television, but I'm going to go ahead and camp out on team no he won't.
Yeah. You shouldn't do that.
Okay.
He's close to 50.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I think a 50-year-old former wide receiver in dress shoes won't get 900 yards in the NFL, and I have conviction. I believe in this strongly.
I was looking at the quarterbacks for Chad Ochocinco, and I can't find all of them, but there was an article discussing if he was only as good as his quarterback. Is he only good when Carson Palmer's in there? Because the other quarterbacks had been John Kitna, Gus Frerotte, and Achilles Smith.
Oh, no. Achilles Smith.
Well, if you've gotten half as many touchdowns as Marvin Harrison with that group, you deserve to be in the Hall
It's
of
honestly
Fame.
more impressive than
Now
you know
we're
what?
back.
I'm flipping on this.
Yeah.
It sounds like Shannon Sharpe loses his own argument to my debate crew, all of whom are doing a better job defending Ochocinco than Ochocinco did.
He might know some more stuff that we don't about Marvin, though. That's why.
He was quiet, and we're all a little bit afraid. Why does Tony know that? Why does everyone know that about Marvin Harrison? His name is not to be spoken. He is to be feared. There has been gunplay in his past. Do not play with that.
I get nervous when I'm watching Ohio State. I was thankful for the
Just
job
a
that
son?
Al Golden did on Junior, just so I didn't have to be reminded.
All of you were nodding at this. Junior, even his son at Ohio State, faster.
Dan,
I just
Be
call
careful.
him Junior.
Just
We
call
care
him
about
I
Junior?
just call him
He's
Junior.
good too.
Yeah, he's good. He's one of the best receivers in the country, and his father, he comes from a decent lineage.
Good genes, right?
Yes, excellent work. But
Dangerous
Tony-
genes.
Also dangerous.
Careful.
Can you guys put on the screen, please, what I believe to be the single greatest NIL deal that has been made anywhere in the country? Iowa State has a football team, the Cyclones. They are uninteresting, and they just play defense.
if you love unders, they are not. I was gonna wait. They are interesting. I was gonna try to find.
Wait, what?
I'm telling you, they're.
What?
I love
If you
watching
love unders,
Iowa
they
State.
aren't
I
interesting.
love. That's what I wanted to say. I love Iowa State. You bet the under every week, except for last week. Money in the bank.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just terrible analysis by you, poorly spoken.
I'm a big Iowa State guy. What do you want from
I
me?
know,
Except from last week.
But you could have just said bet the under on Iowa State. You stumbled and staggered around in what you were
I
saying.
was trying to call them interesting.
Yeah, one word would have done.
You said they're not interesting. I'm like, no, they are not interesting. Like it was the tough spot you put me in there, Dan. That was your fault, not mine.
Is this a better NIL deal than Dakotas Crawford's air conditioning NIL deal?
Let me tell the people what it is this deal is. Again, for those not watching on television, just put it up there. A player named Purchase, a player named Moore, a player named Ham, and a player named Bacon. So you've got
Hammond.
Purchase, Moore, Hammond, Bacon. Purchase, Moore, ham, and bacon. And it's from Iowa Pork, the Iowa Pork Producer Association. You can't do better than that, can you? Unless it's Johnson to Hand to Incredible Masturbator.
The Braves will go from Johnson to Hand, and the batter will be Mastroboni. That's probably a good thing Jeff Francoeur's in the other booth.